What is up, everyone? I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees, and in today's video, we're talking about the Yankees' 5-1 loss to the Toronto Blue Jays, and that is their first series loss of the year. It was bound to happen, and that's obviously not a series you want to drop, especially one in division against the Blue Jays, who are going to be right there with you in the American League East, and you lost that game. There's a lot to talk about with the offense, and we'll get into all of that, but before we get into everything, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you guys know we're coming out with our next video. And, of course, you guys can check out our Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, our Facebook, and, of course, this YouTube page. But without further ado, let's get started with the pitching. And Clarke Schmidt was solid today. Clarke Schmidt pitched. He pitched well. I thought he looked pretty good up until that 6th inning. 3 runs, all of them unearned because of the Volpe error. 2 home runs, which both were tied to those 3 runs, obviously. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 5 2/3 innings pitched. I don't think he pitched bad. He looked really good in the first 5 innings. He looked incredible, actually, in the first 5 innings. Looked like he was about to get out of it in the 6th, and, well, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had different plans. And then Dalton Varsho comes up right after that and ambushes his cutter. Do I have more confidence in Clarke Schmidt after today? Absolutely. I think that's a start he needed to have. But is it going to be enough to get him into the rotation full time? Probably not. If anything, you feel a lot more confident in him in the sense that you feel like he can get you through another start, but you don't feel like, you feel like the bullpen is still the role that he's going to end up in. He looks like he has good stuff. Like, his stuff is, you can't argue with good level stuff. His stuff is good. Like, his sweeper is incredible. He just got beat by Vlad and he got beat by Varsho, and that was the ball game. If you look at the bullpen, Michael King and Ian Hamilton both gave up a run apiece, but at that point the game was kind of far gone. They've pitched well on the year. They just didn't pitch well in this one outing particularly. They were all right. But if you want to look at why the Yankees lost today, it's the offense. The offense was terrible. I'm going to say this in a way that doesn't seem like, I'm going to say this in a way that I think is reasonable, that I think is fair, and that I think is a nice balance between being extremely upset at the results of today's game, but also recognizing, that it's April, right? First off, it's not just bad. It's really bad. That you feel like you have this many black holes in your lineup currently. I know Stan being gone hurts. That's true. Harrison Bader being gone hurts. Also very true. But right now they haven't gotten the production they're looking for. The bottom of the lineup sucks. It's bad. It's really bad. It's terrible, right? The middle of the order, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, when he's healthy, Stanton, Torres, and LeMahieu. If you look at their OPS numbers and their OPS plus, their WRC plus, all that stuff, it's fine. I know Judge isn't trending in the right direction, but Judge is going to get himself back, and he's going to get himself going. Your issue isn't Judge, Rizzo, Torres, LeMahieu. It's Cabrera, Higashioka / Trevino, and Isaiah Fluffa, and Peraza has been small sample size. I'm not going to go either way on him yet offensively. But he put up an 0-for-3, right? And 0-for-3 is not good, right? When the Yankees have their rookies clicking or their young guys clicking, they'll play better. When Cabrera, Peraza, and Volpe all collectively find their groove, find their swing at the major league level, they'll look a lot better. But until then, they're going to look really bad offensively. They're going to look awful offensively. It's going to be really hard to get runs across when 3 of your 9 players are young players trying to figure it out the major league level that haven't figured it out just yet. That's a third of your lineup. And then when 2 of those 6 guys that I mentioned that are seasoned major league veterans and kind of are what they are, when 2 of them suck at the plate, that also doesn't help, right? I know IKF had a hit today, but he has a 398 OPS in the season. He sucks offensively. He's a bad hitter, right? Like, that's true. Your middle of the lineup isn't the issue. It's what's outside of that. And you aren't looking to the bench for much. The Yankees aren't playing Aaron Hicks anymore. They feel like they don't want to play him. Whether that's an internal issue, whether that's, they really think he's just that shot, that is up for the Yankees to know. That is not I am not someone with sources. I don't know what's going on there. Franchy Cordero has looked bad. He hasn't cooled off. He's looked bad since his homer streak or his homer run there where, he was in Cleveland just absolutely tearing it up. And then lastly, Willie Calhoun. He stinks. He's stunk for a very long. He's a bad major league player. He's got a career negative 2.7 FWAR. He sucks. He's bad, right? He's a different level of bad. He's not a major league caliber player. I don't think the Yankees should have them on their roster, but he didn't play today, so that's not why they lost. But the reason they're losing games is because when you get away from the middle of that lineup, right, you enter that next tier of talented rookies, which they are talented rookies, and then after that, you enter a tier of terrible players. It's Higashioka and Trevino, I think, are good major league catchers because of their defense, but I think everyone else outside of the catchers, they're bad. They're bad major league baseball players. They are bad. They are really, really bad. So yeah, we're talking about three tiers here. It's your middle of the lineup. Your guys who they're hitting well. They've been hitting well all year. They're fine. You're not worried about that. That's one thing. Then you've got your rookies, your talented rookies who they're solid. You feel like they'll come around. That's a different story. Then you have the bottom of the lineup. Everyone else outside of that group of about 7 players on the position player side of the ball, and I'll throw the 2 catchers in as their own segment because they're great defensively, but they can't hit. But we know that. We knew that coming into the season. That's 9 of your 13 position players, either being talented enough that you feel like they're going to turn it around, performing, or being defense first guys. The other 4 guys stink. They're bad baseball players. One of them, Willie Calhoun, shouldn't be a Major League Baseball player. You could argue Cordero isn't a Major League Baseball player. You could argue Hicks at this point may not be a Major League Baseball player. IKF surely isn't hitting like one. You have 4 guys who are useless, who are downright atrocious, who do not do anything for you outside of fill roster spots. That's a problem. Now, we're going to subtract. Now, when we're talking strictly on offense, that becomes a larger number. That goes from 9 to 3 ratio on, total, let's say, like from a WAR basis, right? On a WAR basis, 9 of those players I think are going to do well in WAR. The other 4 are going to be terrible and are going to either be in the negatives or be bang on at 0. But when you then look at it just from an offensive standpoint, looking at raw offensive numbers, not caring about defense, Trevino and Higashioka join that black hole list. Now it's a 7-6 number. Now that is nearly 50% of your roster is useless offensively. Not bad, not mediocre, useless. Is Harrison Bader going to help fix that? Absolutely. Look, 7-6 to 8-5, it's a change. It's a nice change to have. That's going to help, but that's not going to entirely solve the issue. I've been lobbying for the Yankees to potentially call up someone. I'm a big Andre Chaparro guy. Here's the issue. Can Andre Chaparro play the outfield? No. So is Andre Chaparro going to play every day if the Yankees were to call him up? Most likely not. That's obviously a logistical issue. I'm not saying that because he wouldn't play every single day, the Yankees shouldn't roster him. Rather that because they can't give him daily playing time, I can understand why they're willing to let him, let's just let him sit in AAA for a little bit, let him get more time, let him develop before we make that call up. I understand that. But you should be better prepared. If you were going to roster IKF to be a 4th outfielder, he's a bad 4th outfielder. He can't hit. He can't. Look at the 4th outfielders on other teams. There was a Tommy Pham available out there. Andrew McCutchen was available. Brian Anderson was available. All at the $1 or less that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa signed at when he signed his deal or to avoid arbitration. There were real major league hitters that were available, and you chose to sign none of them, and you chose to roster Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. That was a choice the New York Yankees made. Do I think IKF is the worst player in the world? Do I think he's exactly why this team isn't playing well? Or not playing well, not hitting well in the last couple days? No, but is he a part of that? Absolutely. So, end of the day, look, the Yankees played bad today. This was a bad offensive showing. I'm confident this team's turned around because, again, that those 3 guys that I specified were not good hitters but are young and talented can become those, can join into that group of, middle of the lineup guys who are just really good and really solid and you're always happy with their production. They can join that group on a dime. You could look at the end of May and be like, yep, that's what those guys are. And that can change fast, but that isn't what they are right now. And then as for the rest of the roster, they're nothings offensively. You have 6 black holes offensively that can be in your lineup at any point in time. That's got to change. I don't know how it changes. I imagine getting healthier helps that. But the Yankees got to figure something out quick because their offense is bad right now. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think. It was a frustrating loss. This is a frustrating way to drop a series. You weren't competitive in this game after the 6th inning. So it really does suck. But you got to pick up the pieces and move on. You can't lose. You can't win a division in April, right? You can't win a division in April. You can't win the wild card in April. You can't win a World Series in April. But you can put yourself in a better position to go on a good run in the postseason. And this team is still, they're on pace for 96 wins. Despite all of the things I just mentioned, they're on pace for 96 wins. That's the crazy part. If they put it together, if they're able to get some decent offense together, I think they'll be just fine. But again, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Get involved in the conversation on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, this YouTube page. You can follow me at Ryan Garcia ESM to tweet at me and let me know what you guys are thinking. And of course, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for the support. Peace out.